Tonight on FactSlap, Universal Exports Special Forces in Middle East mission mess-up. Paintball Mahlwinkel in party pooper plans. Charity launched for under-fattened frontrunners. This episode is an absolute banger, and I know about bangers. Pradadam. Our first story. Following the outbreak of war in the Middle East, NATO has reached out to various elite forces within the European paintball community. Our specialist reporter Rod Gobble is currently in the field. Rod, you're not in Iran. What happened?
Thanks, Milka. Yes, as you said, NATO reached out to paintball teams across Europe, but they ran into several difficulties. Most of the UK's SAS didn't have passports, so they couldn't actually leave the country. France's premier team, Mercenaire Paintball, were on strike. Germany's Black Legion were already engaged in cyber warfare operations, subverting enemy infrastructure through the strategic capture of bases in Hello Kitty Island adventure. Fortunately for NATO, Universal Exports responded immediately and leapt into action.
So they're now operating in the Middle East?
Our latest intelligence suggests that during their briefing there was an all-too-familiar administrative error. Instead of deploying to Iran, Universal Exports deployed to Ironsey, a medieval wine village in Burgundy, central France. They arrived around 72 hours ago and immediately began operations. After several patrols and reconnaissance missions, the team established what they describe as a FOV, a forward operating vineyard. From this position, they have conducted multiple raids on local wine cellars, bakeries, and restaurants.
I see. Has there been much resistance?
We see none so far. One early report suggested an insurgent was transporting weapons through the village, but this later turned out to be a Frenchman on a bicycle carrying bread and a rope of garlic. From what we can tell, Universal Exports cleared the limited resistance early in the campaign and are now operating on what military analysts describe as a relaxed holiday footing.
This has been a fairly controversial raid from NATO. What are the talking points?
Some critics have questioned why Universal Exports were selected for such a sensitive military role, particularly given their well-documented history of administrative errors. Others argue that this represents the strongest foothold NATO has ever established in Burgundy and should therefore be considered a strategic success. However, the harshest criticism has come from several friends and family members of the team. They claim the entire operation is simply an elaborate excuse for a week-long wine tour.
Authorities say the situation remains stable, although several baguettes and a cheese board are still unaccounted for.
Fact delivery. Target acquired. Preparing fact transmission from the Brown Eye satellite. Facts incoming.
Our second story tonight concerns troubling developments at one of Europe's largest paintball events. Organizers at Paintball Mahlwinkel have introduced strict new rules governing behavior at the event's traditional evening party. The regulations aim to prevent what organizers describe as unsafe and overly enthusiastic dancing. Our senior recreational compliance correspondent, Mahlwinkel Moisture, has been reviewing the details.
Thank you, Milka. For years, the annual Mahlwinkel party has been considered a harmless social gathering. However, new safety regulations now prohibit several high-risk activities. These include crowd-surfing, circle pits, and what the official rules describe as pogo tanzen, or pogo dancing. Organizers are particularly concerned about the formation of something referred to in the regulations as a circle of death.
That sounds like a fairly radical change for the partygoers. Has there been any response from teams?
Yes, Milka. Experts in Universal Exports' top-secret research facility have been experimenting with several possible alternatives. Early trials show promising results. The traditional circle of death has now been successfully replaced with what researchers call the parallelogram of life.
I see. That's certainly a clever workaround.
Yes, Milka. Several attempts using triangular or rectangular formations initially fell foul of the rules. However, the parallelogram's irregular angles appear to place it safely outside the definition of a circle. Paintball Mahlwinkel's Fun Sponge department has yet to comment on this development.
That's interesting, Mahlwinkel. What enforcement tactics do organizers have available?
There has been a lot of speculation. However, organizers ultimately retain one extremely powerful option. They could simply stop playing metal or hard bass and replace it with light jazz or easy listening. Back to the studio. Besitos!
A truly frightening tactic. Thank you, Mahlwinkel.
Fact Bridge, penetrating life to bring you the facts.
Our final story tonight concerns a growing humanitarian crisis within the paintball community. Across Europe, younger players are increasingly benefiting from dangerous levels of physical fitness. Experts warn that their lower body weight, stronger knees, and functioning cardiovascular systems may be creating an unfair advantage on the battlefield. Our senior youth performance correspondent, Bella Hinterhaus, has been investigating.
Danka. For decades, paintball has maintained a delicate competitive balance. Older players have traditionally relied on experience, tactical awareness, and a comfortable walking pace.
I see. So Bella, why is this such an issue for the game?
Well, a new generation of players is now threatening this equilibrium. Researchers say younger competitors are capable of moving up to twice as fast as a typical veteran player. In some cases, they have even been observed performing what scientists describe as sudden energetic movements. Multiple studies show that reaching an objective substantially before your slower competition improves your ability to capture and hold that objective by almost 100%. If your team arrives first, the veteran player's experience quickly becomes almost irrelevant, even when facing beginner players.
Disturbing developments. So this charity attempts to address the issue?
This charity seeks to offer a comprehensive nutritional program, allowing young players to achieve the traditional overweight paintball physique within just a few months.
Finally, what impact could this have on the game?
Researchers say the initiative could dramatically level the playing field. Within months, younger players may finally experience the authentic paintball condition of mild chest pain after walking up a hill.
Thanks, Bella. Truly a heartwarming effort to bring the community together.
Weather flange.
With the scenario season starting soon, we've sent our weather correspondent Gert Croissant to the UK to report on the conditions.
It is Northern Europe. It is cold. It is wet. What did you expect?
Thanks, Gert. Enlightening stuff. What about elsewhere?
It is winter, so it is miserable pretty much everywhere. A virus across most of Europe and a high chance of shrapnel as you approach Kharkiv. C'est l'hiver éternel dans mon âme. Bon courage.
Thanks for the update, Gert.
Future facts.
Coming up in next month's FactSlap. North Korea launches the world's first orbital zero-gravity satellite paintball experience. Planet eclipse becomes asteroid eclipse after losing planetary status in a NASA review. And NATO scrambles after Portugal accidentally invades itself. That's all for this month. I'm Milko Puente. This was FactSlap. We report, you comply.